Hello, this is Eric of Not BIOS Tech and Reviews, and today I'm reviewing the Deity V-mic D4. So this microphone competes connection-wise with the Rode NTG, and of course we're going to compare these two mics, but this doesn't have a rechargeable battery. You actually put a battery into it if you're connecting via auxiliary. Connects to PC, can connect to my mobile phone, and we're going to test that of course. But now, let's get started. So in the package, we have the V-mic itself with the foam already on it. So type C to auxiliary. So this is going to connect to my digital camera. Then we also have type C to type C. We also have type C to a mobile phone with an adapter. So we should be able to connect this to an iPhone, other type of Android connections. And in the packaging, we also have a battery. So this battery we have here is a AAA battery. It also has a fur muff of the foam and snug it up with a little string. And that's what we have. And this one can also be moved just like the Rode adapter. We can connect this to a hot shoe, and we also have a thread on the bottom. And this will allow it to connect to different devices. I think this is 1/4 inch. I will say otherwise if it is otherwise. The thread size for mounting this V-mic on the bottom is 3/8 by 16 UNC. So the battery, it's simple enough to find the alignment. If you have enough light, you'd be able to see that it's this way around. And so I'm going to install it. The picture is actually on the device itself. Now this is here so I can pull the battery out. So you'll want to tuck that aside somewhere where it's not hanging out, unless that's what you're into, watching some yellow thread thing. Snapping her in is simple as pulling that lever down and closing it. Now for other aspects of this, we have volume control that we can see. Let's see if we can get a good view of this. There we go. And this way we can adjust what we need for volume. Sometimes people use it on the scene. I don't know how this one's going to work for such purposes, but that's something to test out. Now let's get this connected. Set up as a shotgun mic overhead, and this room is very reflective in terms of sound. And this to show you the way it's mounted right now at an angle like this. But let's see what happens when we have it at an angle like this. This has less self noise than the Rode NTG. Yes, less self noise, so you can turn up your camera DACs even more and get good audio as a shotgun microphone. Looking to save money? Well, there's your choice. And this is an untreated room. I can actually hear the reverberation of sound echoing back at my ears. And of course, I'll be able to crank up the volume, but I want to know if there's going to be a lot of hiss happening. So let's listen to sounds for a moment. There's some noise in the background, mind you. I don't know if it's coming through in the microphone, but that's also a test for it. Now turn this back down a bit. So I'm going to have to lift this up in post a bit. And I left my camera volume at 6 out of 30. I'm using the Sony ZV-1. I could turn up the volume a little bit more, no problem, without introducing much hiss, and have some decent volume without being on maximum. And of course I can turn this way the heck down. So let's do that right now. I'm going to turn the volume down, turn it 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 down, turning it down some more, and it's all the way down. And let's turn it back up and turn it back up, turn it back up, back up. And we are at max and back down a bit. So the one thing we want to test too as well is if we were up close speaking to this microphone and see if there's any difference in sound, because some microphones have a lot of bass to it when you speak up close. When speaking up close on this microphone, you'll definitely want to use the foam muff. Right now I'm just checking my volume level, and because when you breathe on it, and I'll pull this off, plosive, that kind of audio. So talk about plosives. Let's do a quick plosive test. I'm going to turn this volume down a little more. Peter went to pick up some pizza at the pizza factory. And it did plosive, despite this being on, being this close together, like from the microphone. But if I go further back, of course, it won't do anything. Peter picked up pizza from the pizza factory. And of course, when you're this far, you're not going to be really blowing with much force. Plosives are that air pressure blowing into the capsule that causes that sound. Let's test the PC and to the mobile phone and see how this microphone sounds. We are now listening to the Deity V-mic D4. How am I coming through? The volume is pretty much at max, and I still had to turn up OBS to like plus 7 decibels to get some sort of decent volume out of here. Now, one thing to note is there is 60 hours of battery life, and it automatically turns on when the camera turns on, so that's a nice feature, just like the Rode NTG. And here we got information of minus 5 dB up to plus 10 dB on the actual knob that controls this microphone. And I don't know if there's any other useful information for us here, but we can hear the sound of this audio just fine. What do you think? How am I coming through? Let's do a quick test. The fox with socks jumped into the box. His fur shone like the sun. Now let's go to the Rode. Now I'm testing the Rode NTG. How am I coming through? So let's do a quick test here. The fox with socks jumped into the box. His fur shone like the sun. Right now, I'm speaking through the Deity V-mic D4. How am I coming through? Connected to my mobile phone. This is the Xiaomi 12X. I'm using the Open Camera app because most Android phones have really horrible audio. This one does too, so that's why I use this app with my microphone. Right now I'm speaking to you through the Rode NTG using the cable for the Deity V-mic D4. This is a quick test of the Deity V-mic D4. How am I coming through? This could be versus the Rode NTG. The fox with socks jumped into the box. His fur shone like the sun. Now to do a quick test of the Rode NTG versus the Deity. The fox with socks jumped into the box. His fur shone like the sun. It is now time to find out the pickup pattern of this microphone. So let's talk around the microphone. Right here should be the best volume when speaking towards it, but let's find out how it reacts other places. So testing. We are now to the side. Testing. We are now at the back of the microphone. And let's go back over top, testing. And let's go down below, testing. So this should give you an idea. Let's go to the front again, and let's go to the back, and let's go to the side, and let's go to the front. So this should give you a good profile idea of how it picks up around the microphone itself. Now I want to find out if this microphone is sensitive to EMI, that's electromagnetic interference. And it can be caused by wireless devices. So we got my phone here. Let's test this first. And if there's any EMI, it's going to be a high-pitched sound. Now, this X5 U5 is the best one I test so far for testing for EMI. EMI is confirmed. That's electromagnetic interference caused by RF frequency, so the 2.4 gigahertz frequency band or other bands of radio waves. The pocket wireless has not caused any issues whatsoever, so you seem to be safe in that situation. I mounted underneath. I actually had it dangling down, had it beside, not a problem there, but it's something to note. So if you have your mobile phone right against the back of your microphone, for instance, and you get a phone call, it might be possible to cause buzzing in your audio. If you're not already subscribed to Not BIOS Studio, don't forget to subscribe and help this channel grow. All this microphone, other ones, including this and many other ones, are out of my own pocket. I notice less sibilance, that's less S sound with the foam on, and it seems when you at least speak towards the capsule a bit, it really cuts out just a tiny little bit without the foam. Well, with the foam on, it's not a problem. And this is the sound of the wind using the included dead cat over the foam of this microphone. Now you might notice there's some traffic noise. All I have to do is turn the opposite direction of this wind and I'll be opposite of the traffic. And now we should have rejected at least a decent amount of noise from that traffic. Let's turn back around because there's some more noise from the traffic right now. One thing about a shotgun microphone, it's very directional. When connected to PC, I had to increase OBS volume 10 decibels. Yes, plus 10 to get some decent volume on the PC. It still turned out well. In fact, I prefer the audio of this connected to PC over the Rode NTG. One thing to note is the battery life of this microphone is only listed for 60 hours, which in itself is not that bad at all. However, it's not rechargeable. You can get yourself rechargeable batteries, but you have to take the battery out, recharge it separately, and that is kind of an inconvenience. And that is why I'm going to be getting a dummy battery and connect it to my battery banks using a dummy battery, because I actually run my camera off a dummy battery, and that gives me, instead of 45 minutes of battery life, 9 hours. So we can change our 60 hours to more like 600 hours. Now that is pretty sweet. And that battery is only concerned when connected to the digital camera. When connected to PC or USB type device, it is powered through that device and not using batteries. It's automatic on off when connected to cameras, so not a problem. You're not going to just waste the battery. It's going to automatically turn on as needed. At this time, $99 USD. The Rode NTG is what, 259-ish or so USD. So this is 2.5 times less money with better audio to PC, at least in my opinion. Your opinion may be different, but at least in my opinion, better to PC. Now to camera itself, I find the Rode NTG I think has a little more dynamics, but again, the price range. But this one with a lavalier or connecting microphones to make it wireless is absolutely amazing. Now, should we check that? Sure. Let's see if we can connect this here down here. This is my first time ever doing it, so let's watch that. So for those wondering if this actually works as a system that can slide in to the mounting mechanism, even if I did this the Rode NTG, same idea, I can power the Rode NTG, make it wireless just the same exact way. This is Eric of Not Bio Studio. Consider subscribing to help this channel grow and see more different reviews like this that'll help you truly in your purchasing decision, not something that's a copycat of every other channel. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a most wonderful day.